Yes, we're doing yet another CDC watch along or play along, as people are calling it in the comments. Sorry, I couldn't resist, guys, with regards to all the comments which is going about in this Friday morning, at least afternoon, that is just past 12 right now. We're doing the first T20 watch along. Hopefully, we get a game in. The latest is that it continues to rain in Wellington. My name's Avnish Hegde, and I have an awesome foursome with me, at least three of us next to me. Somesh, Anirudh 1, and Anirudh 2. Essentially, Anirudh K, the stats man that you've seen him, and of course Anirudh Suresh. Boys, how are we this afternoon? Like I said,
By the way, people won't recognize us.
Recognize.
so I was going to say evil twin, because normally, I mean, just give us a 360 view of what you've done in the barbershop. It was his birthday, so let's throw him some love in the comments below as well.
The locks are gone.
The locks are gone. I still think it's an evil twin. Let me know in the comments below. Let us know.
He's the evil Rick.
The evil Rick. But what came about with the haircut?
I mean, it was. I had to cut it sometime, so I just thought like the World Cup is done, so why not symbolically? Just
Like
chop it off.
how I cut my hair every day.
Which is weird. How are you feeling, my friend? Stats man, we normally see you in the box, but we've got you in the bigger box.
In the box.
In the box, in the bigger box. Feeling fine. I hope the match gets on. Like
He can't wait to leave Bangalore because he's off to more adventurous.
Oh, is
going
it?
to Kashmir, our boy.
Oh, he is. I mean, that's incredible.
We should pray for him. For his safety.
And is it just like a adventurous trip, or?
no, basically I'm going for 11 days, no, 12 days.
Okay.
So it's a long vacation which I wanted. I was like I had plans of going to either Himachal or Kashmir, but I've already been to Himachal, so thought of going to Kashmir.
Yeah, and that's a great site. I mean,
Yep.
I've not been there, but making plans next year, hopefully, if everything goes well. I think you've been there, haven't you? No, not yet.
Is there a place I have not been to?
Times, he's a traveler, this man. I mean, there's more comparison than means to Murli Karthik, who, of course, a traveler himself. Okay, guys, enough for all the fluff, because we'll give you all the updates in terms of the weather from Wellington. Remember, it's a 3-match series, this, so if it gets washed out, then it essentially becomes a 2-match one. Talk to me about favorite India and New Zealand memories, of course, to just buy some time to reflect on this. We were speaking about the 2002 Andre Adams Sehwag battle, Gambhir and Napier.
Rahul Dravid,
Rahul
the
Dravid.
twin hundreds, of course.
Of
Gautam
course,
is
in Hamilton.
shell-shocked with your...
Yeah,
new
no one can
appearance.
still believe it. No one can still believe
But
it.
I think he looks better now.
Yeah, I told him this exactly when he got when he was thinking about it, right? I saw an old picture of him and I said, dude's short hair is way better. Way better. But yeah, keep the comments coming through. As often, we'll take it. Subodh going on to say, if India plays Gill and Ireland the same, and then they absolutely learn nothing from the last 2 World Cup losses.
We will take that comment, but I'm just watching this rematch. Williamson 51 of 26. It's unbelievable that this was Williamson just 2 years ago. He was scoring like 50 of 25 balls.
And as you,
But this is in Auckland. Eden Park, right?
Yeah.
Eden Park is basically a playground where you have like what?
But you can say that
51?
about pretty much every New Zealand.
and as usual, Chahal taking a crucial wicket in a bilateral series. The same Chahal who has not played a single World Cup game in his entire
Despite of being in
career.
the squad. The Sunil
Okay,
Watson.
so before Subodh, we take your question. Our boy Anirudh has written a fabulous piece about blow-by-blow account of the past 12 months, how things have transpired from one decision to another since India got thrashed out in the last World Cup. So do check it out. It's an awesome piece.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to tell me 2 things about that piece. One is Rahul Dravid has not had the luck at times in large parts of periods as being coach. And then, of course, there have been some shocking decisions along the way.
I think luck is more because of a few players being not available.
Yeah.
But I think as a playing group, you should always be prepared for it, which India really weren't. That's
Okay.
the biggest. And when you talk about bench, I mean, this is where your bench is. How much you utilize your bench is really tested.
Look
right?
at
Because you
England,
have
for
plan B.
example. They didn't have Archer, they didn't have Barstow, they didn't have Wood, Malan.
in the
Malan.
two.
So how would you guys kind of rate Rahul Dravid, the coach, right now? And it's a talking point. I'll tell you why. Because ultimately, if you guys think that there's a better coach out there, who will it be?
It is not about it's not about drawing your guns at him. I think in this day and age and the amount of cricket that India plays, it's just unrealistic for one person to be an all-format coach, because like I keep harping like a broken record, these are not 3 formats; these are 3 different sports.
So who would you get in then?
That is
Who
not,
knows?
I mean,
Like,
see, ideally, I would want someone non-Indian to be a T20 coach, but the problem is that there is no one available. The reason I say non-Indian, because I don't think Indian mindset is too conservative for accepting the modern day T20 game, and I don't see anyone around talking about that mindset anymore. Because so I'll take both's question on Gill and Iyer in the same 11. Now, just before this game was about to begin, they interviewed Shubman Gill.
Yeah.
And Shubman Gill's statement was that my game is about not going for boundary option, but minimizing dot balls. And Ravi Shastri on air, this is a classic case of him realizing his game, understanding his game. And I was like, what nonsense is this?
Yeah.
This is you've not learned anything.
But
essentially, if you're minimizing dot balls, if had India minimized dot balls against the semi-final in against England, would they won the game? No, they would have been thrashed similarly. That 168 could have been 180, 185. That would still have been under par. So, this is where you need to really...
So it comes back to role definition.
It is, first of all, come out, accept that, guys, we have misunderstood T20. Ravi Shastri, Virat Kohli, Rahul Dravid, VVS Lakshman, selectors, everyone should just take a common press conference and say, guys, we and everyone in our system have misunderstood T20 cricket, and we collectively have to work towards changing it. You can't just make Shubman Gill become the next KL Rahul, because Shubman Gill has gone on to say on record that
strike rate is overrated.
So you mentioned a bunch of names there, but MS Dhoni doesn't fall under the category.
See, MS Dhoni is not a coach, and
I know.
It looks very flowery. It's a good fairy tale that
he's not a coach.
Make MS Dhoni the coach and everything will be sorted out. It's not.
But he's a winner.
The thing
he
is,
was the mentor for last World Cup, right?
Right.
See,
India played 6 T20 World Cups under him. We won one, and we were whitewashed in others as well. So it's not like he's a serial winner or something.
I'll tell you one thing.
IPL also
Like,
has a fair share.
MS Dhoni as a coach, I don't say he's okay, but he's a good strategist, but he's not a player who...
I'm not saying necessarily make Dhoni coach. I'm saying make Dhoni the mentor. Maybe someone like Stephen Fleming to run the show.
My point
Dhoni was mentor last T20 World Cup.
I know, but not with a good coach. Right? Arguably.
What do you mean not with a good coach?
You just said Ravi Shastri doesn't understand how T20 modern T20 cricket should be played.
That same applies for Rahul Dravid then.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying Dravid should be painted with that brush. I'm saying if you get someone like Dhoni, get someone like
I'm saying why do you want someone in the system? Right now, Indian cricket is an echo chamber. Everyone is like backing everyone. Everyone wants to be in everyone's good book. No, this is where I keep saying that my respect for Greg Chappell just increases day by day, because he's someone who can call what a cow, whatever it is. Like that is why the senior players were annoyed with him, because he was ready to question them. And at this moment, I mean, nothing against anyone. Everyone wants their job. That day, after India lost, Star was having a show where they blatantly asked Irfan Pathan, should India change the openers? Obviously, he can't say on air that India should change the openers. What he said is, oh no, I'll stick with them, but I'll change the approach. What is that? What is that answer? With KL Rahul, you've seen 3 important tournaments, two 20-over World Cups, 150-over World Cup. He has succumbed under pressure.
Yeah.
So it's a classic saying, if you can't change the man, change the man.
Yeah.
If in 3 years, and see, definitely, we've gone on to record to say that KL Rahul has all the talent in the world. True. But there is some mental thing which is holding him. I think Ian Bishop made a very good point that it is about looking at his numbers. He wants his average to be certain thing.
Yeah.
And until and unless that entire approach of looking at numbers and milestones go away, India's T20 game won't improve.
So how do they go back to the drawing board? Because they have to start in this series, looking at 2024 West Indies, picking a squad, assembling it. And honestly, it's inevitable that Rohit won't captain that side. If he does, great. But if he doesn't,
how is it great?
Some people would say
no.
Great because of his IPL record. But
accusations from
a goat. What is that?
Whatever it is, but I think India and Mumbai have made a big mistake on spending so much on Rohit, because
agreed. So you think he shouldn't captain the next World Cup? Right?
Definitely not.
So
not even one
so
more
then
series.
Obviously it's Hardik, right?
100%.
So why can't they make that announcement?
Why can't they?
Give him that?
Exactly. They should do it right away.
Why do you think they're not doing that?
So wait, before we get to the captaincy talks, I just want to continue on that Gill point.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious about Gill's selection, because it just feels like Gill has skipped the pecking order because of his reputation and the star boy reputation he has. Because think about it, Gill has had one good IPL season, which was last season. Before that, he was always, his strike rate was under 120. He would barely. I think last year was the first time he crossed 400.
I don't
But
think
Hello,
so.
Jay.
just once again, what has Gill done that Ruturaj Gaikwad hasn't done
Yeah.
to surpass Ruturaj in the picking order? That's my question. Just because Ruturaj was the incumbent, right? As in, he was ahead of Gill in the pecking order until 3 months ago when he played against South Africa and all. So what changed suddenly that they feel that okay, Gill is the opener, we need to go for? Like, I'm just
Is it
curious.
because of his ODI form?
No, I just feel that could be one of the reasons.
But that should not be a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
See, again, I wish
They're overlapping
I wish
formats.
Gill plays for India in ODI World Cup the next one.
Because he's more suited to that form.
When he plays his shots, there is no other player who's more watchable. But that doesn't automatically make him a very good T20 player. Modern day T20 requirement is something different.
Yeah.
India might beat a few teams and then reach the semis, but you got to beat England, Australia, even Pakistan on their day, and
South
that is
Africa.
where you need players who are not worried about the numbers but rather Atherton said that it's not about the par score, it's about the winning score. But India never, while badminton, India never go for the winning score.
Yeah.
See, the thing over here is like they tried Ishan Kishan, who they thought, okay, fine, he's gonna be the basher. So that didn't happen. So then they went with Ruturaj Gaikwad again, who's basically kind of an anchor player, just like Kohli maybe, who starts slow. And then he tends to go on. Okay, fine. He's a good player in the middle overs. He plays well against spinners. So that is one thing. And then Ruturaj Gaikwad again, like they gave him the chance even in Indian matches. Like they couldn't identify him as the next big thing.
But so only 2-3 games, that too, like one match, then again he won't play again for 3 months. Then one match, then he won't play again for 3 months.
The thing is, like once when you're struggling against the same kind of mistake, like when he has that tendency of struggling against left arm paces, like if you're going with that again, it comes down to the point where okay, fine, again Indian openers against left arm paces, there's nothing. So they want to try somebody else, but that somebody else is Shubman Gill. They don't have anybody else as an opener.
Here is where I think differently. It is not about individuals, it's about team composition.
Yeah.
It is basic.
But it goes back to the saying, guys, anyone can open in this goddamn format.
But still then India needs a left-hand, right-hand batting combination, because that goes without saying, because see, you have Kohli at number 3, right?
Yeah.
And with the looks of things, he's not going anywhere. If they've taken a call on Kohli that he won't be part of the T20 setup, then
no, Kohli should. I think Kohli might play, I mean, but not in the same position that he's playing.
I want to make an argument here.
Let Kohli open.
Okay, then you'll put Sky at 3 or Samson at 3.
Yeah.
You basically know that in your top 4 there will be 3 righties. So why not just give a lefty a 2-year run that we trust you?
Tilak Verma or
whoever it is.
I agree that righties and lefties.
You have Yashasvi Jaiswal. You have Ishan Kishan. With Yashasvi Jaiswal, you have the wrist spinner option as well. You have Ishan Kishan. Ishan Kishan is a very capable T20 batter.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
But I'd like to see the Ishan Kishan who burst onto the scene and not playing for his place.
So,
like we've seen.
see, they just played him in India. Give him a run outside India, right? Let him bat on these batting wickets and see what the output is. You need to know that, bhai, we need a lefty there.
No, I agree with you. But honestly, I think out of those 4-5 names you mentioned, Kohli's the only anchor, right? Going by your first 4.
See, the point I'm making is, if you want to try someone as an opener, I would rather want India to try lefty, because you have to have a proper combination.
So then make Pant open itself there.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. If I am if you it's basic, it's common sense that if you have 3 players who are like a certainty in your T20 side in the top 4, all 3 are righty, the one vacant position where you are experimenting with has to be a lefty. No matter how good other righties are. Because ultimately it's not about a personal, it is about your team combination. I mean, if you have 5 genuinely good pacers and 2 mediocre spinners, would you rather drop 2 spinners and just go with an all-pace attack? You won't, right?
No.
So, England, talking about pick the player for the team, not the player for his record or whatever. England do this very well. When I say it, not just in T20s, but in ODIs, Sam Hain has a list average close to 60. And he's been, I think, the highest run getter in list A cricket in the last 2-3 years. but his strike rate is below 90. It is like 84, 85. He's an anchor. So compared to someone like Phil Salt, who has his average just under 40, I guess, and a strike rate above 100.
True.
And if they went by numbers, they would have given Sam Hain
that's a
run.
harsh call that they made when they crashed out of the 2015 World Cup, and they said, okay, fine, white ball's going to be played with a completely different vigor altogether.
Yeah.
Morgan was a perfect man for the job, but he got the tools. India had the tools,
Yeah.
but they just are not putting the right pieces together.
See, there is one more perspective to this one. The thing what happens over here is when you are playing in IPL, you are supposed to play for your role definition. But what happens in IPL is it's completely different.
Yeah.
The player who wants to play for India in that particular role doesn't play in IPL. For example, what happened with Hardik was really shocking this year.
Yeah.
Like he's supposed to be a finisher.
A Pollard, a Miller.
You can't do.
Yeah. I mean, classic example is Venkatesh Iyer. If he
Venkatesh
wants to
Iyer.
make this to the Indian team, he has to play in the middle order. But
Yeah.
he won't do it.
That's
Okay,
the
even
same-
if he wants to.
But
Because the
that's
management
same thing
won't allow it.
about Samson, right?
No, Samson
Samson is still flexible.
Yeah.
He's batted all over the place with
True,
our
but if he has to kind of burst in this Indian team, they're not going to bat him at 3. As much as I love him at 3.
Why not?
Because they'll bat people like Shreyas Iyer.
Why?
Which is
Why? I mean, this
You're telling me today, India are not going to
if Kohli is opening, Samson is your automatic number 3.
Agreed, even in my eyes, but
Yeah.
not in the management's eyes, which is ridiculous.
wrong. This is what I'm saying. This is an echo chamber.
Because he bats one down for RR.
Yeah.
If he had to bat, say, slightly lower for RR,
He has done that,
Does
right?
that make
In
sense?
Honestly
last year.
speaking, RR will benefit even more if Sanju Samson bats lower down the order.
agreed.
They should just have Riyan Parag batting at 3. It lengthens their batting
Mhm.
lineup, and Samson has the game to succeed even in the lower order.
But here's the thing, right? Like what Anirudh was saying, the franchises won't allow them to do
That-
it because
that
it
is
doesn't
what-
benefit the franchise. At the end of the day, IPL franchises want the best for their team, and Gujarat think the best for their team is Hardik batting at number 4 or number 3. And you saw how. I mean, I still can't believe Gujarat won the IPL. By the way, with that.
So
Yeah,
by that logic,
batting lineup,
I
but
mean, even
still.
Shubman Gill in the IPL for Gujarat, he had a partner, I mean, towards mostly at least the second half,
Yeah.
with Saha kind of taking the initiative, so he could drop anchor and play at fiddle.
Also,
He'll do the same thing in this
also-
innings. I mean, this
also,
match.
Gujarat Titans for a bowling heavy side. Let's not
Yeah.
forget it.
They were a bowling heavy
always
They are
had
like
five proper
Pakistan of
bowlers.
IPL, basically.
They had 5 proper bowlers plus Hardik Pandya.
They are the Pakistan of IPL. If Pakistan were they had won the World Cup, that's pretty much Gujarat Titans.
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
this is what comes up now. Like, before you get into that Indian perspective, like in the IPL, you have like how many teams? 10 teams?
Yeah.
And with 10 teams and almost around 80 matches, if you're not able to find out a good left-handed opener, then there is nobody in domestic.
Hmm.
You can't find anybody in domestic. Like SMA, like if you're getting it from SM80, then you won't
No,
do
but
it.
It
that's
is
what I'm
so
saying.
funny.
So-
It is so funny that India carried Deepak Hooda all this while,
Hmm.
grooming him. It was not like he had the credentials to just walk into this Indian 11. They carried him because they thought that his role will be useful. Now, why can't a similar thing be done with a left-hander? Take Yashasvi Jaiswal with you. He's performed at Ranji level, done decently at the IPL level. He's smashing oppositions in all the white ball domestic tournaments.
True, but
Why not
Jaiswal
carry
and Padikkal is still a while away from this Indian team.
Why?
Padikkal,
Why?
why do you
What
want
is
They're
the
not even
reason?
playing someone like Rishabh Pant and Ishan Kishan that
That's-
much.
See, the
Rishabh
thing
Those are
is,
the two.
Rishabh Pant has himself to blame. He has
I
been
know.
Yeah, the longest-
abysmal in T20, even in IPL,
So then-
let alone
So
international.
then play Ishan Kishan, who's way better than
Ishan
Dhoni.
Kishan also hasn't done anything.
I
No, that is the
know, but I'm
problem.
saying in terms of potential, Kishan is way better than Jaiswal, right? I know he
How
gives you
can
the
you say
legs,
that?
because of what we've seen in the IPL.
because
He's
Jaiswal hasn't
yeah,
had a
3-4 year
Kishan
head
like
start.
yeah, he has
Kind of
the
4-year head start. Yeah.
True, but I'm saying Kishan has. I mean, Jaiswal hasn't had a season like Kishan.
Jaiswal can bowl leg spin.
True,
Wait,
If you can
but-
carry
wait.
Hooda just because he can bowl, why not carry a left-hander to
But-
give your side
but
more?
carrying
balance?
Hooda has been a mistake just because he could bowl. Let's not make a mistake with Jaiswal as well.
See, right now, I'm saying
But that
grooming-
merit Abhishek Sharma, get him in.
in my opinion,
Huh.
grooming someone like Shubman Gill and thinking that he will become your T20 player of the modern era is a mistake
Is a mistake.
based on what we have seen his batting style. I would rather invest in a left-hander who's aggressive and
True.
brings more on the table than just being a
The,
one-dimensional batter.
the
I
only
mean,
right-hander,
with one-dimensional, I mean not have any other skills like bowling or anything else.
the only right-hander opener I invest in thoroughly is Prithvi Shaw. and just
Of course,
ask him
of
to like
course.
mentally sort himself out. Maybe he has, maybe he's a changed man. But if you have, like, okay, fine, even if you
We
take
should-
England's World Cup winning squad right now, or their starting 11, Butler, Hales, Butler can drop anchor, but Hales is always going to go for it.
No, Hales can also do an anchor. I
Good.
mean, we saw him.
But
We
they
have seen him do it in the BBL and
correct.
stuff.
But you do
so-
if India decide to kind of wanting to go on that 2024 mission and saying, okay, fine, we want to show intent and all of that, then they got to pick players for it. So would you pick someone like Shaw to partner Kishan, or would you pick someone like Gill, which they will do, to partner someone like Kishan to like make the balance? Because there's no chance in the world they're going to go for two dashers.
You have to
As
see
much as I'd like to see
the
it,
conditions, and it will be played in West Indies. So chances are that
regardless of the conditions,
160
Anirudh,
will
you
play
have to pick
160.
you have to pick a proper team right
Yeah.
now.
I mean, yeah. So you have to groom according to the conditions. That's what India. That's where India failed in this World Cup, right? They were playing Harshal Patel for 2 years just because he was the highest wicket taker in the world IPL. Then just before the World Cup, they were like, "Oh no, Harshal is not suited to the conditions. Shami is better suited." So we'll
That I
pick
still
Shami.
understand to a certain extent. Not playing Chahal at all in a World
That was a
Cup,
mistake again.
knowing that he's one of the leading
That
wicket
was a
takers, and purely because he can't bat.
Twice.
That was a repercussion of them not able to fit Harshal in the 11.
Yeah. Or Jadeja's injury.
More than
but
that,
they
I
could
think
still
because
have
he
managed
can't
it,
bat.
you know.
Oh, Ashwin and Akshay can do a job with the ball and bat.
See, the thing what happened here, like even in the Asia Cup, when Aksar and Chahal were playing together,
Yeah,
they couldn't counter the left hand right. They couldn't counter the left hander option. Like they didn't have anything to go. Okay, fine. Both of them were getting hit. Like if an opponent gets to know that, okay, fine, even if he's the best bowler and he's getting whacked by a left-hander, then they will fill in with left-handers, and that is what happened. That was one of the
but
biggest
that we shouldn't still
disadvantage.
budge. I mean, Adam
this is
Zampa
where-
keeps
this
his
is
spot
where-
regardless
this is where
of
I feel,
matchups.
The place for Chahal was not in place of Ashwin, it was in place of Aksar.
Aksar.
Because in 5
Yeah.
games, he batted for 9 deliveries.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. But
Yeah.
like England have been brave with playing Rashid regardless. I know people say, oh, Rashid can be way better. Zampa, Shamsi, all these guys, they play regardless whether they can bat or not. Why can't we just go for wicket
Yeah,
takers more
see,
than anything else?
that is
It's
what-
like we're straight away going on the defensive by having Ashwin and
I mean,
Akshay.
I think having 2 defensive spinners was a big mistake. They should have
See,
found a way to
And see,
have build a team around Chahal. That's what I'm saying.
This is what happens if you have cross-format captaincy and coach. Because reputation from formats sort of carry overs.
Yes.
And this is where people who are playing only one format, like for example, players who are just playing T20 or players who are like just playing Test, they're sort of sidelined.
Yeah.
Because if push comes to shove, people like Pujara, Vihari have always been the first one to drop out in favor of someone who's more aggressive in white ball.
Umesh Yadav played bilateral cricket.
No, but
Just before
okay,
the
fine.
World Cup.
What's the thinking then to have someone like Kuldeep in the squad? Because he's not going to play that World Cup. Why can't you have Ravi Bishnoi? Where the hell is
I mean,
he?
I'm hearing arguments because Kuldeep can bat. I mean, when was the last time we saw
Yeah,
Kuldeep
that
bat
was
in
what-
any format
Like,
and do
Kuldeep is
something?
But no-
Kuldeep is
but
just a
knowing,
wicket
but, okay,
savior.
but knowing West Indies
Kuldeep
and
is like
knowing how
Hazelwood, right,
Bishnoi bowled in the
basically.
West Indies recently, why isn't he not even part of this whole setup right now?
Bishnoi was supposed to be in the reserves for this World Cup, and
And
he's
he's
like,
not in the squad for the New Zealand
Bishnoi
series.
could have easily come in for Kuldeep, could have
Yeah.
easily come in for Bhuvi. What are you going to do playing Bhuvi
Like,
again
he's
if they
been-
drop pretty much all the other oldies? No Rohit, no Kohli, okay fine, KL's taking a break as well, no Ashwin. All these guys just say bye to the
and
bloody
the
format.
biggest issue with Indian cricket is they don't think things from World Cup to World Cup. I mean, even in press conference, Rahul Dravid was like, "Oh, we have time." I don't think that's the right approach. You shouldn't
It's
have
not at
time.
all.
I mean, after the 2019 World Cup, India played Kedar Jadhav in the next series.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
World Cup is 4 years away. This guy's not gonna play the next World Cup. So why pick him for the
And
series
Dhawan is
immediately
still
after?
here, unsure whether he'll be
Yeah.
there or not for the next
Dhawan, the
World
thing
Cup.
is, it's sentimental because the 2023 World Cup, oh, is the ODI great, him, Rohit,
Finch
and
retired.
Kohli,
I mean,
and high.
see,
look at
the
that.
point
But they're
is,
not going to take it.
life is ruthless.
I know.
And it has to apply to everyone. I mean, no one should be privileged enough. You're already a privileged person to represent your country even for one game.
Exactly.
And you've played a World Cup. Okay, if you're dropped after it, it's fair. It's not unfair to anyone.
But the ODI World Cup, those three will play no matter what people say.
Who three?
Dhawan, Rohit, and
Why?
Kohli.
I don't think Dhawan. I mean, Dhawan has to
Dhawan
prove
is
himself.
not-
He's he's a strike rate of 75 in ODIs in the
I
last
know,
year.
but
we are not playing World Cups in 90s anymore.
Agreed, but you know how people are being picked by
So, I mean,
reputation.
this is where now if he does it, then I mean, you, being the biggest Dravid fan, should come and accept that, oh, even he can't fix the system.
True, but the problem is with 2023 being held in India and those three being put in such a ODI pedestal, oh, they'll go down. Dhawan and Rohit.
Dhoni, all-time white ball great. Let him play the 2023 World Cup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
do it. No?
Raidu as well.
Obviously not Dhoni because he's not even playing cricket. But,
he's playing IPL.
So what's the thinking with captaining Dhawan for all the ODIs?
That's a mistake. That's a mistake. I know.
But it's building up to 2023. You're telling me it's not.
That's a mistake as well. That's also a mistake.
What is a build-up here? You're putting a person in a situation where he's captain for the side today and out of the side tomorrow. Why?
I'll tell you what. I was thinking about this yesterday. I was looking at Australia's 11 yesterday. Finch retired. Travis Head came in. So yesterday was 10 of the 11 players will start the World Cup. The 11th will be Stoinis in place of Maxwell. They dropped Hazelwood, by the way, yesterday.
Yeah.
They dropped Hazelwood and played Agar because they knew that in India, they'll want to play two spinners. And they'll have Stoinis, Green as a third seamer and Maxwell as a third spinner. And they're still giving a rope to Labuschagne because they feel that if Labuschagne
you can predict
they'll have a leg spin
Australia
option.
dropped Steve Smith for the World Cup.
I know.
If Joe Root would have been Indian, he would have been in India's T20 side.
I know.
That is there.
I know. And that's a fair comment to make. All I'm trying to say right now is you can probably predict that top 7 the 2023 ODI World Cup. Let's be fair.
India.
As much as we hate to say it, we can predict it.
It's only between
Dhawan, Rohit, Virat, Sky, KL.
Not Sky.
Not
Sky,
Sky.
I guess.
Pandya, Jadeja.
Where is Pant? Who's the keeper?
KL's their keeper.
Come on.
KL's kept before.
No,
So it's
he's
like
not
back
getting
5.
Dhawan and all righties.
That's what they've done anyway for the other World Cups.
Have you seen Pant's record in the ODIs last 1 year? It's very
What
good.
is the logic of dropping Pant from ODIs?
He's done really well.
I wouldn't like to see it, but they'll do it.
They won't.
They'll look at KL Rahul's stats at number 5. How do you drop someone like KL Rahul if you're playing Dhawan, Rohit and
So
Virat?
this is where they have to maybe have a KL Rahul opening as much as I don't want it, because I know he will go on the defensive the first sign of trouble, which is a very negative mindset. But this is the way to go. They have to have KL opening, Virat 3, and then Pant, Sky, Hardik, Jadeja to follow.
Oh, I guess we are not getting a game today, guys.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
it's really-
Give me the latest weather update.
I might as well open with Pant even in ODIs. Why not?
Yeah.
That guy has been so damn good in Test cricket.
The only counter argument is
And
that
again, I'm contradicting myself when I say it. I'm saying select him on merit. Give him a decent run at the top of the order, because that gives you a left-right combination. If he succeeds, fine. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
Who?
Pant. Talk to him.
Pant, if you have to play him out of 2 out of 3 formats, which of those 2
Obviously,
formats?
ODIs
and Test.
Test though is undroppable.
He's
But
a-
why can't you play him as a T20 opener? Just let him open.
See, I can't say without proof. First, let him
Test.
open.
Fuck ODIs for
First,
fun.
let him open. Right now we're just assuming that he'll be successful as a T20 opener. We can't just assume that.
But we all got carried away saying, "Oh, it's a watershed moment."
Because
when
it
you
could have
open in
been.
England.
It could have been. Who knows?
So now, in terms
See,
of
he doesn't give a damn about his wicket, right? All of
Yeah.
us know that. And you need those players in T20. At least he has the correct mindset.
for me, in that 2024 World Cup, there's 4 options in terms of left-handers who can open right now in India's stance: Ishan Kishan, Yashasvi Jaiswal, as you mentioned, Pant, because he's done it, and maybe an Abhishek Sharma, which is a left field goal.
Yeah.
2020.
Like,
Not a
I
bad
would
call.
seriously try to groom Abhishek Sharma
Because
from now itself. Because he's-
bowling option.
He's an option. He's a player
Live
who
wire in
can
the-
give you.
live wire in the field.
He's a good fielder.
Yeah.
He can give you a couple of overs, maybe left arm. Even though if it's left arm spinner,
Proved
even
himself in the
Jadeja,
IPL, proved himself in SMAT.
he can open the batting. He did really well as an opener this year. Even in SM80 and Vijay Hazare, he's doing well.
Yeah.
So why don't you groom him?
But the problem is, for someone like him, they'll have to again stamp their authority in the IPL, which is a sad thing. Because
Not sad. If you can
It's not
do it one
sad.
more year, then yeah.
sure, but like he's shown us glimpses of the cricketer that he can
See,
be. Right?
again over here, it comes up to this point where, like, okay, fine. If you want, there are few privileged players like
Deepak Hooda.
Umran Malik just got into the 11
Yeah.
because of his X factor. There is nobody in India who can bowl 150. That is the reason why even with one single season, he was into the Indian team. Otherwise, if he would have been some normal 140, 145 plus guy, he wouldn't have come in.
No chance. Yeah.
Like somebody like an Yash Dayal or whoever, Mohsin Khan, who did really well in the power plays.
That's a similar thing you can say about Varun Chakravarti came in only because he's a mystery spinner.
Yeah, he was a mystery
of course.
spinner. That is what.
But these are the X-facting skills that you need in
Obviously.
T20 cricket, right?
So what happens in IPL is like, okay, fine. If you have something as an X factor, and when Venkatesh Iyer made his debut, Like, we didn't have anybody. Like, Shivam Dube was struggling in IPL.
Yeah.
They thought, okay, fine, we'll go with Shivam Dube. But
Correct.
Shivam Dube was struggling in IPL. And then the other fast bowling option was Venkatesh Iyer. So they had to go because Hardik Pandya was injured.
True.
So they tried him. And then when Hardik Pandya came back in the IPL 2022, like, he scored well and he was bowling well.
I agree to that. All I'm trying to say is right now, why can't they realize that they have a lot of time in their hands? I can't believe Dravid said that, oh, okay, it's a long way away, because time flies, especially if you're playing so much goddamn cricket. They have other things to focus on. 2023 will definitely be just focused on ODIs.
ODIs. After that,
Right.
you just hardly have a few months to prepare yourself for the T20 World Cup. And
Yes.
then you won't have a lot of time.
And that happens, I think the IPL happens first and then the World Cup.
Yeah.
So again, that's what I will bloody hate, because they might have like certain guys
Fatigue.
picked out, and then when the IPL comes,
They will be injured.
no, but like I'm saying,
There always have been injuries
no,
because
but
of IPL.
forget the injuries.
Fatigue.
I'm saying one of the older players, a couple of the older players like KL and Rohit, like they have worldies of IPLs, and then they're like, oh, let's
See, this is one of the things which
and then they'll suggest that no, you have to pick on form, and they'll have like all these guys back it up with decent
I mean,
IPLs.
Truth be told, they can actually announce, at least not announce, have a squad, 15-member squad picked between themselves before the IPL itself. And this is our squad that we're going to stick with.
Announce it now only.
These are players we'll stick with.
But how?
And give them roles. You are in the World Cup team.
Forget the
use
squad.
the
Just
IPL.
announce the captain, so that guy knows. If it's Hardik, it's
Indian
Hardik.
cricket, it doesn't happen. I mean,
But that's so
why
silly.
hasn't Rohit announced till now that he won't be playing T20 and international anymore? Because he shouldn't. There is no grounds for him to continue.
So
playing
why
T20.
wasn't that? Why wasn't that?
But
a
because
press
it never
conference?
happens in Indian cricket. Dhoni sent a message 3 months after because he was not selected for some team, some squad. That's when he thought, oh, now I have to tell the world that I'm retired. Consider me retired.
So Hardik is just assumed as a temporary captain. So next
Yeah.
year we'll see Rohit play a T20
Wait,
international.
let me just make it one thing
That-
clear. We don't even know if Hardik is next in line, because the official vice captain is KL
It's KL
Rahul, and
Rahul.
KL Rahul has been rested for the series. He's not been dropped. He's been rested.
This is one of the things which I don't get it. Like, a player who's scoring, like, who has scored like what 1,000 runs at a strike rate of 183, and he has played like what 30 innings in this year.
Sky.
Sky.
Hmm.
So he's not getting rest.
Yeah.
But the player who needs compulsory match practice, he's getting rest. Like, where do you have this logic? Like, how do you get out from this logic? Like, you need Rohit Sharma to get back to form. You need KL Rahul to get back to form, and you are resting him. Like, what?
See, the
what
only,
is
just- why
the
can't
only
they-
justification I feel is they've rested players who are going to play tests against Bangladesh because those are important. India can't.
I mean,
lose
like, that
any
is
of the
important
6
from
tests.
But there's an ODI series before Bangladesh, and they're playing that series.
But because there is an ODI World Cup, 12 months down the line, you can't rest people from ODIs. No? That's the thing.
They have, right? They
That's
have
flawed.
a weird squad, I guess.
That is flawed. By the way, 9:46 is the cutoff time locally, which pretty much means 2:30. Yeah,
We are
2:30.
definitely not sitting here till 2:30.
Sorry,
So
2:06.
wait, let's take a few
2:06,
questions.
so-
We had a lot of questions. We just passed those questions on because we were.
Yeah.
We were
Any
lambasting.
questions? I think there was a
We had a lot
comment
of.
on IPL discussion. Guys, we've done a proper 2-hour IPL discussion. It's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Maybe you can check it out.
you can check it out.
Yeah.
If there is any specific
Skip.
question or
There
anything,
is raining.
if there is any specific team that you would want to discuss, then maybe we can do it.
Why is Deepak Chahar not in T20As? I think he was injured just
Yeah,
before the World Cup. He
I
was
think
in the
Deepak
reserves.
Chahar fitness has been a concern. Otherwise, I think he would have been ahead of Bhuvi even in the World Cup.
I
in
still
my opinion.
remember I just spotted him near
Even
the
the series-
ITC before
One
the
second,
World
even
Cup
the
started.
series, you look at who they picked in terms
So,
of T20 international
I'll tell you what,
pacers.
the biggest
Who do you
curse is our boys meeting players downstairs.
Yeah,
Because Akash
Harshal Patel.
met Harshal Patel. He met Deepak Chahar.
And they were
I bumped
having
into
a,
Bishnoi.
no,
Bishnoi didn't
You
go.
bumped into Bishnoi.
they were having a
What are you
stroll.
guys doing? You are ending careers.
Ending
They were
career.
having a stroll over here.
It's honestly we're black cats in disguise.
What if KL wins next year's IPL? Does he captain T20? Also, what if we win the 2023 World Cup? Does Rohit continue the captaincy for 2024?
Again,
It's all,
different
yeah.
formats. Different formats.
Which is
Yeah.
going back to that bowling chat with Deepak Chahar and all of that. I just want to talk about the guys that they picked for this series for the T20 internationals. There's Umran, there's Siraj, there's Arshdeep, and there's Bhuvi, and there's Harshal. So there's 5 pacers. And not to forget someone like Washington Sundar who will definitely play. So that means essentially 3 pacers and a spinner. Chahal has to play because, I mean, why wouldn't you not play Chahal? But who starts in terms of pacers? Is it between Umran and Siraj, or both them play, or is it between Bhuvi and Siraj?
I think I would. If
Why even play Bhuvi?
I will start with Umran, Arshdeep, and Harshal. Because
And Chahal, fair.
And if Harshal plays, Chahal plays. They are a pair.
Yeah.
Because of the
And
batting ability of Harshal Patel, they are a pair.
Yeah,
So
and-
essentially leaving out Bhuvi and Siraj.
Yes, and
think, right, like the next World Cup is going to be played in West Indies, where I'm assuming Harshal will be more effective than what he would have been in Australia.
Yeah.
So and of course Harshal adds a bit of batting as well. So and coming back to the IPL chat now, it's important if in the next couple of years, the next couple of IPLs, next couple of whatever matches he plays, if Harshal can somehow take his batting to the next level. At least not he doesn't have to become like an all-rounder, but someone who's at least someone like a Keshav Maharaj, who's shown at the international level. That
I would even go on to say that he should be aiming to become an all-rounder because if he's not
plays, he'll bat at 8. I'm guessing
he should try to be a number 7, in my opinion, because if he's not a 4-over bowler on every day, at least he's a batter.
But at number 7, I'm guessing if he stays fit, they'll go with Washington Sundar.
I see.
7, you can be flexible, right? Washington Sundar comes in for Ashwin.
But then that still leaves us 3 people who can't bat, which is fine.
Bumrah depends on your number 8.
Arshdeep. And I would like to see Bishnoi instead of Chahal.
Shami will just walk in just before the World Cup. He'll come into the team.
The thing over here with Harshal, if you have Harshal Patel or Deepak Chahar in your squad, then there is an outside of a box thinking that they can groom Sundar to be an opener.
True.
They can try that, and if they want to try that, then it has
to be. But they won't.
You can't. That is what I'm telling you. Like if you're trying to prove something, if you're proving it in SM80, that it's nowhere. Like the gulf between SM80 and international is a long way. It's a huge one.
True.
And if you want to do that, then you have to do it in IPL. Like as Anirudh said, like your franchise doesn't want that.
But he won't open.
That is what I'm telling you.
It can't be an option. I mean, the way these guys think.
SRH won't open with him because they already have a lefty up top. They would rather want.
But even if Abhishek Sharma wasn't there, they wouldn't open with Sundar. There's no chance.
I think he batted at 3 for RCB, if I'm not wrong.
He batted at 3.
Yeah. That's like Shabaz Ahmed.
Opening is the point is if Kohli opens, then your number 3, maybe some odd day you can promote Washington Sundar to just throw the cat among the pigeons.
Shabaz is a good name. He mentioned. I think that's one guy I'll follow closely in the next 2 years. I think
Shabaz I see is a direct replacement for Jadeja.
But the thing over here is again you get that same caliber. No, like it's the same bowling type. You have Aksar.
I just feel like he's a better batter than any of the T20 batter than Aksar or all the other competitors.
If you see, if it goes back to that same topic, like okay, fine, Jadeja. If Jadeja is out, do you go with Sundar? Or I mean, not Sundar, sorry, like Shahbaz Ahmed or Akshar Patel. So, and if Jadeja is also there, then who will it be? Like you have 3 left-arm pacers and left-hand batters who can play there. Like
of
Abhishek
that
Sharma,
mold, it's Shahbaz Ahmed, Washington Sundar, and Abhishek Sharma. Those are.
And Abhishek is a batter who bowls, and these guys are bowlers who bat.
I'm done with. Akshay should just play Test cricket.
If you are,
fuck that.
If you've selected DK and. Who else? Huda based on one IPL.
Parvez Rasool is still in contention.
Then why not Abhishek Sharma? I mean, he would have solved a lot of issues for the team.
But DK are not picking just one IPL, right?
Of course.
Isn't that went into his fever? But obviously he's.
No, I mean, like
he has a body of work in the.
See, the thing is, like he did it for KKR as well.
So again, okay, what about Huda?
Huda purely because they got seduced by many bold couple of overs in the West Indies.
See, Abhishek Sharma.
And that
Abhishek Sharma was never dismissed in this IPL by Sunil Narayan, Rashid Khan, and I'm forgetting one more, maybe Hasaranga.
Hasaranga.
These 3 bowlers couldn't dismiss Abhishek Sharma. He scored at least 120 plus strike rate against all of them.
I guess against Rashid, he scored 3 sixes in one match.
Abhishek Sharma will get the nod potentially in the future, but someone like Rahul Tripathi is missed out after back-to-back IPLs.
See, again, I feel for Rahul Tripathi, but right now let's not name names because this is an endless list. Let's talk about roles. Rahul Tripathi is your right-handed batter.
Yeah.
He can't bowl.
Agreed.
So that makes him a long list of players who are right-handers who can just bat. Let's talk about players who can contribute in multiple facets. They have to be lefties because India do not have a lot of lefties. If India had a lefty up top, entire plan of Josh Butler would have been ruined. He couldn't have front-loaded Adil Rashid. He was able to do it only because India have righties, and nothing against him, but people like Kohli, whom opposition won't target your spinners.
Yeah. No, I agree to that. But all I'm trying to say is, if we have to kind of now build for the future, why can't we identify, okay, fine, in this category, left-handers who can bat are these guys,
See, the thing
and have a pecking order there.
See, the thing over here comes back to the same old box again. Like, if you are playing with Tripathi, where will you bat him? Like, you can't replace him with Sky. Nobody can replace Sky.
It can be
now.
Sky's
Okay.
replacement. I mean, as in
Like,
next in line.
Next in line.
Yeah.
Only if Sky is not playing, you'll play Rahul Tripathi. If you want to play in number 3, where will Kohli bat?
No,
Then
but-
again, he has to open the
Where will
innings.
Samson bat?
No, I'm not saying Rahul Tripathi should definitely start, but he should be in that conversation more than someone like Gill and Iyer
Of course, and Huda.
and Hooda and Samson as well. Samson, come on, dude! Like, he's way better than a Gill or Iyer,
100%.
in my opinion.
100%. And you talk about body of work with DK. Look at body of work with Samson.
Yeah.
He has been he's batted at every single position for RR.
No, but it's
and
really
succeeded.
sickening, because if the way Samson was found out the similar way that Shreyas has been found out with a short ball, he wouldn't have got such a long rope. Because people have peppered him in ODI cricket, in the IPL, in Test cricket. We saw him. Who was Matthew Potts?
Yeah.
Matt
Potts.
Matt Potts.
Matthew Potts.
Matthew
yeah.
Potts.
Matthew
Matthew
Potts.
Potts. Yeah, that is
Matthew
Potts.
Potts.
He was bounced out by Anderson. For Christ's
Yeah, which is ridiculous. So if all of this shit happened with Samson, he would have had to go back to SMAT, score like double hundreds in T20 cricket to come back in the Indian team.
No, there was so the series just after the pandemic when India toured Australia, the Gabba series, they played 3 T20s. Samson played those games. They were showing one of those highlights of one of those games yesterday, where so Samson came in at number 4 when India were batting at a strike rate of a run rate of 7.5.
7.2
Yeah.
or 7.3.
He scored 24 of 13 balls and he got out. He scored 24 of 13 balls and
And
got
people
out.
are just
He
like,
increased the run rate to 8.
8.4.
And on the other end, there was KL batting at 15 out of 37 balls. Now, would you consider 24 of 13 balls in that situation a good knock or not?
Why not?
I think,
Yes,
for
right.
sure.
Yeah,
Obviously, yes,
100%.
right.
Yeah.
But Samson was dropped after the series. He played one more
It's
knock like that.
ridiculous. There is something which is going on
And by the way, they
with the selectors.
for a long time, this was the same country that persisted with Manish Pandey in T20s. Manish Pandey played T20 cricket as recently as 2020.
Yeah. And
So,
with some of the bizarre calls, it's not just Manish Pandey, but like he said, Kedar Jadhav, keeping him after the ODI World Cup, Vijay Shankar,
And
Shivam Dubey.
a very minute observation. I mean, I'm sure others would have done it as well. I mean, KL Rahul has done really well in ODIs at number 5, okay?
Yeah.
But whenever he's the captain, or whenever either of Rohit and Dhawan is injured,
he opens.
he opens. Why?
Yeah.
You are groomed for a spot.
It's silly.
Against South Africa, that happened, right? In the
Against South
ODIs.
Africa, that has happened every time when he's the captain.
Zimbabwe,
only.
yeah, Zimbabwe.
He's the
Zimbabwe
captain only when
also.
Rohit is not available.
I think when these guys, every time they discuss their annual contracts, right, it should be penciled in, okay, fine, you're playing this format in this position regardless. For KL Rahul, you're a test opener,
doesn't
you're
have
an
to be
ODI
your
number
contract.
5,
It should see the
and
thing
you're not in
is-
the T20 team.
the thing is, it is just practical, and everything should be on merit. It should not be. I mean, this. I mean, no one can convince me saying that the Indian team is always selected on merit, because it is not.
Yeah. We'll give you updates right now. 9:36 is the cutoff time locally, which means 2:06 IST. So that's give or take another hour and 5 minutes from now. But we're giving you all the updates. Of course, I mean, we did some good pre-match talks. I think he's put out a couple of things. I did a show last night with Gurkirat. Gurkirat was not a happy man because we were having a similar chat, and you guys can check that out as well. And we'll, of course, keep giving you all the updates as much as possible. Valuable distribution. Really appreciate you in the comments, like all the other people as well. He goes and say my 11 whenever the match begins. Ishan, Samson, Iyer, Sky, Hooda, Pandya, Sundar, Harshal, Kuldeep, Siraj, Umran. Where is Chahal? And where is...
I would pick Chahal over Kuldeep in this 11.
Yeah. 100%.
Siraj, Arshdeep. Maybe we can rest Arshdeep. There is no. I don't.
He's
have
not
any
playing
qualms to
Gill,
it.
but he's playing someone like Hooda.
So
I would play
Harshal
Gill over here and open with him
That's
and
right.
put Samson at 3 in his 11.
I would play
Yes,
Pant,
Samson.
man. Where's Pant?
Oh, Pant is in the squad.
Yeah, Pant's
Oh.
in the squad. I would play
Yeah,
all
Pant
three
is in the
wicket
squad.
keepers.
Vice captain hai bhai.
So
It doesn't matter. Vice captain, captain. These days
So
it's a
Pant,
joke.
let Pant open with Kishan. I know it's two lefties, but fuck it. If we played so many two righties,
100%,
two lefties,
100%.
and then
Because see,
Samson at three, Samson
if
at three,
Pant has to have a
Sky at four.
If Pant has to have a T20 career, it has to be opener or three, not lower than that.
Okay, no. So let's try to pick the team for the first one if it's happening.
It's not happening, but yeah, let's go ahead.
Ishan, Kishan, Pant to open both of them.
See, New Zealand don't have
Samson
an
at three.
New Zealand don't have an off spinner.
Yeah.
At least not a proper off spinner.
Agreed.
So you can open with two lefties.
Fine.
That is where you can open with Kishan and Pant.
Yeah.
Then number 3 has to be Samson,
Samson,
Sky,
four,
Hardik.
Hardik 5. Then I would play someone like Deepak Hooda and then Washington Sundar, 6 and 7. And then
But why Deepak Hooda at 6? Isn't it just out of position for him? He's
then
not
who
your
else would you
finisher.
play?
He's a top
He's
4
not
guy.
a
Na? He's a
finisher.
top
Who
4
else would you
batter.
play?
Who else would you play? I mean,
Your three all-rounders on this tour.
Who-
Hardik Pandya, the captain.
Who else is in the squad?
Washington Sundar and Deepak Hooda. There's no other all-rounder. I mean, Harshal Patel, sure, if you call him an all-rounder. There's no one else in the squad.
X _ play T has a theory. Just can we display that comment again?
Let me check the squad.
Deepak Hooda was selected because he was at Rajasthan with Dravid. Dravid was planned.
No,
2 projects
man.
in T20s, Hurricane, Hooda and Sanju. Was surprised to see Hooda project started before Samson.
No.
I mean,
Hooda-
that's possible because
Yeah, you could
He was
connect those dots, but that's not the reason. The two prime reasons why Hooda is in the squad is because that Ireland T20 International 100.
but no, why
And the
was
fact
he
that
selected for Ireland, right? That's
No,
it's not
agreed.
like Hooda earned his place in the squad, right? I mean,
Because
he had a good season and he was just
because he got that whole
Big.
3-dimension tag. That's all. The fact that he rolled his arm over in the IPL.
Okay. Now, looking at the squad.
Iyer is there. Oh my gosh, Iyer is there.
Just yes,
I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, looking at the
I'm
squad.
not picking. I'm not
They'll
picking
play.
Gill and Iyer.
My 11 would be open with Kishan and Gill.
Hmm.
Gill or Hooda. Take a call. But open with either of them.
Pant at
Pant
3,
at 3.
Sky at 4,
Samson at 5. Hardik at 6.
Hmm.
Washington Sundar 7. Harshal Patel 8.
I didn't want to play Gill or Iyer because they're literally prodigies to roll
Iyer
things
to
out.
मैंने बोला ही नहीं.
Okay, Gill,
I'm
But-
saying either Gill or Hooda
but
as an
we-
opener.
Hooda.
But
Whoever.
we all know that Iyer will play, right? Because
Yeah,
he is
he
in the
will
reserves.
play.
He has
Like,
played
he's-
every single T20I that's in the lead up except for that.
And
Asia
honestly,
Cup, I
Okay,
guess.
and then after
Iyer,
that-
whenever he's played for India, he's not done a lot wrong.
So okay,
Because
hasn't
apart from the short ball issue,
Yeah.
so
basically he's very dominant
so
in
complete
everything
your
else.
11. So Hardik at 6, and then you're picking Washington Sundar
At 7.
at 7.
Harshal Patel at 8. Chahal 9. Either of Siraj or Arshdeep at 10. And Umran Malik at 11.
Umran Malik has to play all 3 games.
100%. No
He
doubt
has to
about
play
that.
all
And
three.
it shouldn't be a shootout between him and Siraj.
I think him and Harshal. Because short
Yeah.
boundaries, Harshal, if he goes for runs, then take a call.
And I don't believe in
he
this
has to be
theory
that
of-
bowler that.
And I don't believe in this theory of resting Arshdeep and all that.
Yeah, so
Play Arshdeep.
you won't play. I mean, that depends. Maybe you can groom Siraj. Not a bad call because I think Arshdeep will add value in the 50-over World Cup, and you have to keep him fit.
True.
I would rather have Arshdeep playing more ODIs and T20Is at the moment. My
Really?
point is,
Because
Harshal
he's a
Patel,
left-armer.
you've not played him in Australia.
Yeah.
Where his big boundaries could have helped him. Now, maybe you won't play him in New Zealand saying that those small boundaries. Then where will you play him?
Yeah.
Play him in these small boundaries. Let him learn. And if he doesn't perform, then I mean,
no, 100%. Give him a longer rope because
Yeah.
that shouldn't happen similar with Avesh Khan because now he's not even there in the scene.
Avesh Khan did nothing.
I
Like,
know, but the amount of chances that he
But
got,
I feel like even Avesh Khan was picked based on one IPL.
2
And that too-
IPLs.
No,
Two
1.5.
And
Yeah,
out of them,
one
one
for Delhi
was in
Capitals.
those
True.
tracks in Sharjah where
True.
maybe you and I.
But if you look at it, like Avesh would have suited the Australian conditions.
Definitely.
well.
Actually,
Because-
That's why he was
I'll
the-
bet
He'll
back
be
in
like-
5 minutes.
Oh,
See, taking a punt on Avesh Khan was not wrong because he
Yeah.
was, no,
but yeah, I mean, like, how did suddenly so many people just jump the queue and get ahead of Avesh Khan? They thought Avesh Khan was good for Australia till the Asia Cup. After 2 matches in the Asia Cup, they dropped him and he was not even in the reserves.
and probably when Bumrah was injured and they drafted in Umesh Yadav, that is when they should have gone back to Avesh Khan. That
Yeah.
we have trusted you for this while.
And it's all the talk about trust and players have a good environment, blah blah blah. It's all
And
just seems like PR,
And
It's just
I mean,
they're not.
either take a call up front. If you feel Avesh Khan is undercooked, I mean, take a call earlier.
Yeah.
You can't take a call after 12 matches and then say, oh no, he's not good enough. Let's go back to someone who's not played T20I for
3
a
years.
year, and one more player who's not played one T20 game for 3 years. That is just bizarre.
But I feel they should pick naturally attacking players and not ask players like Rahul play
Exactly. And this is where I feel that picking Shubman Gill in a T20 team is not a step in the right direction.
But this comes back to that old thing again, no? Like, where do you find those kind of players in India? Like,
There should be a cultural shift at the IPL level.
But
first
I mean,
of all.
you can identify, like, see again, Pant has bad numbers, but he doesn't play for numbers. It is very clear.
I know.
And I mean,
he doesn't play.
Kishan is one guy like
nothing
that.
against Gill. He's a top player to watch. He's a top ODI player, no doubt about that. But that one game when he was nearing his 100, right? I mean, we all know how long he took an eternity to get there.
Yeah.
And even that one game where Rain interviewed and he was stuck on 99 because he took a long while to try and reach his 100. And you should know that certain players actually have milestones in mind. And these players have a place in Test cricket, maybe even ODI cricket, but these players do not have a place in T20 game.
I said the thing comes up to this point now. Like, when you start your career, like, you come fresh out of an under 19 thing, so like a coach, whoever is there, I just feel that he has to tell, okay, fine, you are going to play only one format, or maybe like specialize in one format, and then you excel in that format first, and then come back to the next two formats.
But why? Why is that? Why does that need to be done in a country like India where you have options enough for all the three formats?
Because that is what happened.
But that should not happen. That is what I'm saying. If someone is good at baseball, should they start playing cricket? No, because these are different sports.
That is what. No, like, see, the thing over here is what's happening is like once when you are
the
into
same point, but yeah.
Once
no, but his point is, if a player really dominates one format, that is when you should try taking a call of him in the. I'm saying there shouldn't be any overlap.
Oh, you're saying that
just chuck the overlap
just
altogether.
Be the best you can in one format,
Exactly.
rather than
but
there is still room for certain overlap, like players like Virat Kohli or Bumrah for tests and ODIs. But T20s there is.
And why did you get?
But the thing was,
I was able to remember you for at least 10 minutes.
But so what? Doesn't he look better now? it's like I'm acting as a dad because you've gotten a haircut, or maybe I'm just jealous because he can have a hairstyle.
So much buy. MI will buy one of Sam Curran, Holderstokes Green, or they will not bid for anyone.
So both they don't have money place for overseas players because they already can't fit Thurston Stubbs. Considering Devold Brevis, Tim David, Jofra Archer, and Behrendorff play, there is no room for an overseas player. They need to find a good Indian player, which because they did not find in a mega auction, it's unlikely that they'll find a good Indian player in the mini auction. So I think MI will be skewed until someday they scout a good Indian player and buy him.
And they released Sanjay Yadav, which was very
bizarre.
Which is very bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that.
So now for Mayank, who's gonna go for it? Players early in the role, which India
I think SRH will go for Mayank because they have a spot available in the opening order.
SRH and
Chennai. I think even LSG will try to bid for him. They might not be able to get him, but
Manish
they will.
Pandey's
Manish Pandey is released.
And I really feel Mayank Agarwal can work as a middle order option as well because he has a decent spin game.
He has a decent spin game, but like, so if LSG, so they've dropped Evan Lewis as well, right?
Yeah.
So they have Batoni who played all the matches for them last year.
Almost.
No, not all.
Like the second half he was dropped again.
Second half he was dropped
for Gautam, right? Yeah.
Gautam. So like the only spot number 4 is like you'll start with Deepak Huda.
Yeah.
For them, Deepak
number
Huda.
3 can be Huda.
Number 3 can
3
be
or 4,
Huda,
yeah.
and then again number 4 was who was the number 4?
Not Stoinis.
The 3 was Lewis.
Pandya was playing.
3 was Lewis.
Krunal was playing.
Pandya at times.
So you have you have Krunal Pandya, you have Marcus Stoinis.
They also have Krishnappa Gautam, by the way.
They also have Krishnappa Gautam, but the problem over here is like fitting Mayank would be a problem.
I think with Mayank is he has a decent spin game, but I'm not sure how well he will perform when he starts against spin.
Yeah.
There is one thing you are set and then play spin, but
That
there is
is
a completely
so
other thing.
that is why, no, like if you are playing in, if you see SRH and Chennai, they are gonna go for Mayank Agarwal for sure.
I think
Jay, we wish we were in New Zealand, but we are in Bangalore.
we are there could be a Wellington in nearby, but
Nearby.
yeah, I don't know if
There'll be Auckland Town or Wellington Town somewhere near.
by the way, just since you're talking about LSG, I just mentioned that one left-hander we all seem to forget completely is Krunal
Krunal
Pandya
Pandya.
again. I
Krunal
think
Pandya.
he has good T20 potential. I don't know. I mean, his batting did not evolve the way we all expected it to, but I still feel that as he can work as a floater, and his bowling, right? Even if he doesn't take wickets, he will always give you an economy under 7.5 or whatever. But yeah, chuck that. I think SRS might be dumb enough to buy Manish Pandey at a lower price and open with him again.
But I don't think they will.
I still feel RCB will go for Manish Pandey.
RCB,
Nah. I won't be surprised if Manish Pandey is unsold.
Like, you never know.
Yeah, you never
I
know,
would.
yeah.
I mean, obviously you never know. I
Because was Rahane
surprised.
released or not by KKR?
Yeah, he was.
Rahane is released, right?
So like
Yeah,
Kohli
by the way, not a bad option.
For
Manish Pandey over Ajinkya Rahane is a upgrade.
upgrade. So like who is it going to be? Like even if we go with RCB, Faf and Kohli to open, and then Rajat Patidar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I would
Patidar,
personally
Maxwell.
have, I would personally drop Faf Duplessis, open with Finale and Kohli and have
Yeah.
Patidar at 3.
Yeah.
Maxwell
I
and
think I will even if the first wicket falls early, I would rather have Shahbaz Ahmed at 3 because he's a decent game against pace, and you have DK and him at 5 at 6, which sort of makes it two players who don't really attack spin. So there is at a couple of games they sort of choked, even chasing a low total because both of them don't really hit spin.
One question.
Do you see drastic changes in the T20 squad of India? I mean, look at the squad. There are no drastic changes. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is still
As
there.
much as I want to, Jay, I think there will not be any drastic changes because ideally by this time, certain players should have retired from this format, but we have not seen them. So I'm not sure. I think based on how things work, they will wait for the IPL and then take a call. And then post IPL, maybe we'll get a clarity. Because certain players will be targeting IPL to be back in form. And by certain players, I can just make it very honest. Players like Rohit, Pant,
KL.
DK,
KL
Ashwin.
doesn't need that because they are gonna persist with him.
Yeah, DK, Ashwin, all of them.
Why does
really
Rajat
good
Patidar
IPL.
in contention for ODIs and not T20s first? Exactly. And why is Rahul Tripathi in the ODI squad and not T20 squad?
Yeah.
Like, it's like they have 30 names. They just randomly pick and allocate. Okay, you go here, you go here, you go here. Like how they picked Yash Dayal this time, Mukesh Kumar last time. It just makes no sense. It's like whatever has happened in Indian cricket in last 1 year, you can't explain. Like you can't explain at all. It's elections.
Yeah.
Like it's just so bizarre. But that's why you're saying that Dravid needs to be judged on results because clearly none of us could understand what he was actually trying to do in the last few years. Opening with Sky, opening with
even
Pant.
Dhoni at his when they lost games.
This is where it comes up, no? Like what we were talking about, like to have a different coach. But see, my theory comes over here is like even if you have a different coach, like you have a certain set of players, you go with okay, fine. He has a strike rate of 180 as an opener. He has a strike rate of whatever it is. Like you look into it as a coach, you're analyst or whatever it is, and then you come up okay, fine. Where do you try him? It has to be in bilaterals.
Yeah.
You try them in bilaterals because that is the place where all these oldies get their rest and all those things.
Yeah.
So you try them, and then again for another. Like, see, you have an ICC event every year till 2033.
Yeah.
You have an so you can't rest them. So you have groomed some player in the T20I. Okay, fine. He's shaping up to be an opener, and all of a sudden your Rohit Sharma, your KL Rahul, Virat Kohli's come in and then done. Thank you. That is what happens, no?
Yeah.
Gurkira, this is evil version of Anirudh, evil twin. Evil Rick is what we are calling him.
So this match is getting washed out, isn't it? I mean,
This match is washed out.
it's 1 hour to go, I guess. But guys, please tell
Tell
me
me
who's
who's
the excellent
excellent
six-hitter. It's objective, I guess. I mean, I think Surya is a
Surya
better
is a
batter
better-
overall.
Yeah.
Surya is a better six hitter because he can
Has-
access all the parts of the
Mm.
all the areas of the
Yeah.
ground. But
And-
Livingston is basically that whack.
Livingston has a very obvious weakness, and teams have targeted him with that and going wide. Whereas Surya, it just
Yeah, he has
it's
an
just
extra
one
cover.
small weakness, which is very difficult for bowlers to execute, and unless and until you are like high pace,
This
yeah,
thing. Okay.
bowling
But
bouncer
even-
close to his body, which
So
is.
that is also something like you live by the sword or die
Yeah.
by the sword.
And
Like
that is like saying that every player is susceptible when you hit top of off, but not every bowler
Exactly.
can hit top of off every time.
even if he gets out to that, it's that he's trying to play that cut over there, which is on a vacant area.
I think Surya pretty much nailed it, I guess.
Yeah.
Livingston is a more powerful monster six-hitter. Surya is the smarter six-hitter. And I mean, we've seen in the last 1 year alone, in IPL 2020, Surya was hitting a lot of force.
Yeah.
IPL
2020.
not just IPL. Once he started playing for India, he's not just stagnated. He's evolved and he's now become a six-hitter. I think he's the highest six-hitter in the
This year.
T20I in T20s this year,
Somewhere
right?
around 67 or something.
Yeah, I mean that's probably a
So-
product of India playing the most matches, but still.
So basically, if the competition is not about who can hit the longest sixes, you should rather go for
It
Surya.
comes up to this topic, like again, AB de Villiers and Surya Kumar Yadav. These guys are good six hitters because even once they get into a position, irrespective of where the ball is, they have a shot. They have
Yeah.
like 2-3 different shots in their mind.
Yeah,
Oh,
Shubh is here.
Chintak is
I
here.
will take a break.
Chintak
I think
aa
we
gaya
are
hai.
ending the stream soon anyway, right?
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, if Avnish comes in, even I'll take a break. We're talking for a while.
Ah.
Who put you on a 1 point and a half if you cut your hair?
So
He's looking better now.
I don't know. To me, it's just looking strange at the moment.
Like a new joinee of the team.
Yeah, Jason Gillespie before and after.
Why Dravidian team is taking rest? Even Shastri sir didn't find logic in that. See, I mean, Jay don't take Shastri's word for anything.
Yeah.
Seriously, man.
And
सबको break
everything
नहीं होता है.
applies. I mean, not every process works for everyone. If he's
So
taking a
he's-
rest, it's okay. And I think this is the first time Dravid has taken a rest. I mean, Lakshman has coached in the interim, but that is only when Dravid was involved with the team in any other project.
England.
Yeah.
In England.
So this is the first rest he's taken. I mean, with that logic, Shastri, I ideally should have said the same thing about Kohli because Kohli takes more rest than any other Indian player. So I mean,
And he's the one person like
no point
No
discussing
point in
Shastri's
discussing
argument.
Shastri's
and Shastri's
argument.
conclusion,
Would keep saying random things,
Yeah.
boastful things.
yeah, he said like, how do you come in with one IPL season? And he was the one who selected Vijay Shankar.
भाई मतलब भाई the contradiction की जो limit हो सकती है ना, that is Ravi
He
Shastri.
is the one.
But
And how many years from 2014 he was the coach till 2021? He couldn't find a number 4.
भाई 3 साल लग गए. So again, I mean, there could be a book written on the contradictory statements that
Yeah.
Shastri has given.
But
He
I mean-
said Kuldeep Yadav is a number 1 spinner overseas, पर भाई ने 2-3 साल में टेस्ट ही नहीं खेला. उसके बाद अजिंक्य रहाणे को नंबर 4 पे खिलाया, उसने पहले मैच में 70 बनाए. Then he said कि रहाणे is our number 4 अगली
Yeah.
सीरीज में drop. So I mean, how can you take Shastri
You took
seriously about
Vijay
anything?
Shankar as number 4 in World Cup.
ठीक है. I mean, I think there was a question around Mumbai Indians and their releases. They've released Riley Meredith and even
Riley
Chennai
Meredith.
released Adam Milner. I think Mumbai at this moment feel pretty confident of Jofra's availability. That might be the reason.
But do you think
Was
ECB
Meredith
will let him
very
go?
expensive? I don't remember.
I don't remember it. I don't remember Mumbai's whole season actually.
No.
क्या था, क्या
Very
है यार
expensive in
रखने
terms
के
of money.
लिए? Not
He went
really,
for
not
8
very. नहीं,
Riley
भाई,
Meredith.
इतना महंगा कैसे होगा?
नहीं, Riley Meredith इतना नहीं था भाई. 8 तो Archer.
मेगा ऑक्शन में नहीं हो सकता ना इतना महंगा.
So unless and until he was
Oh.
expensive, then
Hmm.
2.4.
Like
Yeah,
2-3
I
max.
guess
It
three-
won't be more than 3 actually. Because it's a mega auction, backups पे इतना
1
ज़्यादा
crore.
पैसा नहीं
1
खर्च हो
crore.
सकता.
1 crore.
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, so his
yeah, I mean,
debut season went for 8
It's
points.
bizarre. I think they are just convinced that Archer will play this season.
But do you think ECB will just let him play? I mean, such an injury-prone guy, and then you just.
But
and
is
then
it up to ECB? Is the bigger question.
I mean,
Especially
Because
might
at this
be,
point, I think.
Especially with Ashes in June.
But the point is, one needs to ask Archer as well. I mean, with his fitness, I don't think he can be a 3-format bowler anymore. He has to pick.
And even if he comes for Mumbai, he won't be playing all 14 league games. It won't be fair कि भाई इतने time बाद कोई बंदा injury से आ रहा है and then you just unleash him for
Yeah,
the
but I
14
mean-
14 league games. I actually don't see Bumrah and Archer bowling together for Mumbai next season itself.
Yeah.
And that is why there was a question earlier that Sam Curran can be picked. I think Sam Curran will be a very handy pick because I think.
But
I know.
do they have the budget for it?
I heard your argument. Even if not Sam Curran, maybe a Jason Holder or any other bowler who can just contribute with the bat
Bat
a
as well.
little bit, and therefore overseas then could be Brevis, David, Barendorf, and then that fourth guy. And in cases, even if Archer is available in Mumbai, they can rest that other guy, and when they are playing outside of Mumbai, they can bench Jason Barendorf and then play that other guy.
Yeah, but I
whoever they
think
pick.
knowing how much Mumbai plans, I'm pretty sure if they are even 50% doubt that either ECB won't allow or Archer won't be available, they would have released him.
Yeah.
8 crores is a lot of money to just waste.
Surya has a question about my team. I would like to take that. Delhi have just 5 spots left, but 19 odd crores. They can gun hard for Karan and fill the rest with base price picks or even Cam Green as a dual backup for Warner and Marsh. Yeah, sure, but again, so that is my question with Delhi. Actually, they have decent purse, and I don't know what kind of players they will be going for. One player they will certainly be looking for is a backup wicketkeeper for Pant, because both KS Bharat and Tim Seifert have been released, so they will definitely go for a backup wicketkeeper. Their overseas picks will only be about creating backups, because I don't see them shifting from Warner, Marsh, Powell, and Rick Nokia. And yeah, Cam Green will be a great pick, but I don't see him coming to Delhi because of budget issues. There will be a lot other teams that will be gunning hard. So it will be interesting to see what holes Delhi will plug. But one thing for sure, a backup wicketkeeper, and then all the overseas picks will be about having some backups.
Yep. And guys, just one update about this game. This game is abandoned.
Yep.
So
officially
abandoned. So yeah.
So even the rain gods know कि यार अभी World Cup खत्म हुआ है. What is the point of playing so soon? So they are like, okay, wash out, have rest,
have fun. Imagine if you have 2 crores left and Rahane is unsold. Would you pick him on base price?
I will take my entire squad out for a vacation and spend 2 crores on their mental health.
So 2 players.
Let's go to Goa.
Yeah.
How are we doing that?
2 players I will definitely not pick, even if I have slots open, are Rahane and Kane Williamson. Big fan of Kane Williamson, but he
The
just
game is
doesn't
abandoned,
fit.
so maybe you can.
Oh, okay, perfect. But people are big fans of you. Somesh sir, mat jao. Somesh sir. So it's good to see Shub back in.
Yeah, hi.
Shub came to my rescue the other day.
Said that it's good to go when they want you.
No, absolutely, for sure. Guys, the news is, of course, very grim. I was just looking at the weather forecast while I was eating lunch as well. So good for the boys to take over. 21:46 is the cutoff time locally.
It's abandoned officially. Somesh has already announced that.
No, they're still waiting for. This run out. Remember this run out? Ooh.
I don't.
If you guys are watching a Prime video, it's a Virat Kohli run out.
Virat Kohli run out.
Oh, what a run out that was. But boys, just coming back to see जा रहे हो.
वो चले गए already.
भाई चले गए.
क्या बात है.
Yeah, we were ranting the whole morning.
Yeah.
Have you had your rant yet?
Not really. I don't care about Indian cricket enough. Okay, you know that.
Yeah, I know.
If I could rant, I would rant about South Africa losing to the Netherlands side.
Oh,
But,
it's called off. Now it's official. So let's just break it for y'all. Match abandoned due to rain. So essentially becomes one of those 2-match T20 international series, which is
Fine.
And I guess even in
Would be.
Melbourne, it's raining. It's for Sunday.
You know the
it
best
rain.
part about this tour? 6 white ball matches, all 6 different cities.
This turn. Okay, yeah, nice. Fair enough.
So they're spreading across the length.
That is
and
how
breadth
it
of
used
New
to
Zealand.
happen earlier as well,
Earlier as
right?
well.
Exactly.
वो तो अभी जाके, because they are playing back-to-back matches, so they play it at the same venue. But earlier, all the matches used to be at different venues. So
That is true. I mean, I was just asking Somesh, and we started off the show by asking best memories. We'll probably finish the show with best memories, and we're all Rahul Dravid fans here. Fuck the rest of the office, guys. Because
dude, my time of since India's World Cup exit is mostly going in defending Rahul Dravid on social media.
forget Rahul Dravid, the coach. I'm talking about Rahul Dravid, the player now in New Zealand, and any particular games which stand out for you. When I talk about New Zealand and cricket, I mean, we were all like in 5th grade, 6th grade growing up watching that particular 2002.
Twin centuries in Napier.
Unbelievable.
I started watching cricket in late 2002, so I missed out on the twin hundredth and nine.
I don't know if you remember this game, but I'm sure Anirudh will, where we were chasing, I think, 200 and we were 182 for 3, and then we collapsed to 198 for 9, and then Nehra got us over the line.
Nehra got us over
Which
the
Srinath-
This is 2002, right?
This is 2000. This is
before the World Cup.
Games, absolutely bizarre games. Sehwag was probably peak Sehwag then.
So you remember बचपन में we used to play with that plastic ball जो हद से ज़्यादा swing करते थे. That is how the ball was swinging throughout that series 2002.
Andre Adams, peak Shane Bourne.
Peak Shane Bourne and Dravid. I remember he was pulling him, driving him even on the
you remember
ball was
even
swinging.
2003 World Cup. I know it's not in New Zealand, but if you remember the 2003 World Cup against New Zealand,
Yeah.
that was bonkers of a
Bonkers.
game.
And-
That was bonkers.
And it was overcast, Centurion.
Overcast Centurion.
Dravid kept.
Adam Perore dropped a
Drop.
sitter.
Yeah.
Absolute sitter of Rahul Dravid when
Yeah.
we were what, like
3
31 for 3 or
Three
And
something.
down.
Dravid
22
honestly,
for 3, I
like,
guess.
he had the best helmet on in the Dravid helmets era. That Britannia bat just looks sensational.
Britannia bat and the Masuri helmet.
And the Masuri helmet.
I used to
I
like
didn't
that
like-
Albion helmet more.
I hate it.
भाई
that.
इतना classy
Masuri
लगता
or
था यार.
Forma, I guess.
Forma.
He had that Forma helmet,
Yeah.
not Masuri.
My first watch cricket game was Dravid's 270. The way he
Pakistan,
got
Rahul
out.
Pindi.
No, not me, Jay.
My first, what did you say? Your first, the game you saw Dravid, what?
So let's just go back to Jay's comments. His first game that he watched was the
Oh,
270 that
that-
Dravid scored.
Oh, okay. My
Dravid
first game
Pindi.
was when Dravid scored 217.
Okay.
And that
overall.
is when
Oval.
I was like,
Yeah, that's it.
oh, okay, I like this guy. He's my favorite. And after that, he just scored
Your
double
first
hundred,
Dravid-
double hundred, double hundred.
2003, Adelaide.
2000,
I
yeah.
still remember
23.
because like in school, I told my mom, like at whatever cost, I want to wake up
Yeah.
in the morning and I want to watch
Dravid hit the winning
Dravid
runs.
double century. He was on 199.
199.
199.
Let's
He
go
was
the
on.
other end.
In the
First
morning,
ball,
I
he
woke,
scored for
in the
four.
morning, I woke up. Stuart McGill bowls
Shot
a
wide.
short and wide, and he cuts it for a double century.
Oh my God.
Like
And you know what? Interestingly, so that is something I wrote. I read in the book Timeless Steel. There was a chapter written by Vinita Dravid's wife, and she said that she had absolutely no idea that her fiance has completed a double hundred when she. When she went to work that day, her colleagues
Reminded her.
Reminder.
that okay,
But
oh,
it's
he has
like
scored a double
Dravid had
hundred.
a perfect match that in Adelaide. that
72
day.
not out in the
72
second innings.
not out in the
Like
second
Surya
innings.
73,
Biswara.
72, but not. I mean, people keep forgetting that crazy catch he took of Damien Martin.
yeah,
That 100.
Ooh,
That
100.
probably
What a
was
catch.
one of the very few times when Dravid overshadowed Sachin.
Oh,
Because
yes.
Sachin bowled
Oh,
that
yes.
ball, Dravid
yes.
was like. So not always do you see both of them in the same frame and Dravid catching all the
Yeah.
limelight. That
But
catch.
is that one of the best Dravid catches you've seen?
Yeah, there have been
Carlton Bog.
Yeah, that one.
Carlton Walk one, yeah.
Where Dhoni and stuff, and he's like, oh, what a catch!
That was Dale Stein's catch.
Carlton Bog. Carlton Bog
Carlton
was the
Bog-
record.
Carlton Bog was
Sorry, the
2011.
record one. Sorry, yeah.
So Carlton Ball was in India, but the
India.
Dale one was in
Was
South
his
Africa.
200
In South
catch.
Africa.
It was a
What a
200
catch
catch,
that
and what a catch that was because he was blinded. And yeah,
Too
I
good.
mean,
Absolutely.
but there are a lot of instances where Dravid has taken such one-handers. I remember him taking one in the Mumbai Test against England in 2006. He had actually dropped a couple of similarly tough
Way shy, I
catches,
think.
but then he just dived for third time was a chance.
And Harbhajan, I think, was bowling, and he was wearing one of those
White patkas.
white
White,
turbans,
clear.
which is good to see. But look, remember Dravid's 3 ball, 3 sixes in T20 in England, yeah, for sure.
That is like
When I
Samit
think of a
Patel.
Dravid running catch, I think of the Mumbai was the RCB game 2008 where he runs back and then he catches it and then he.
I still
And
remember
there's
he took a blinder
emotion.
while playing for
Guys, I was
Rajasthan
very-
as well. 2011 at covers or mid wicket. I still remember.
2010 he took one of
2000.
Damien Martin. when he was playing for RCB against RR.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that one.
But do you guys remember Dravid running out in Zamam and then celebrating like Imran Tahir, everyone chasing him? That was in Abu Dhabi 2006
There are
match
two
series.
catches which come to mind, which are yesteryear. I'm not sure if you guys remember this. One, which is that 2000 series, tri-series, Australia, Pakistan, India in Australia, where I think Srinath's bowling the Moin Khan and he takes it like a blinder.
Yes.
And then there's 2001 in Sri Lanka, Jayasuriya. Nehra was the bowler and Dravid was a mid-wicket, a short mid-wicket, and he takes an absolute blinder, bro.
I wonder if Nehra told Dravid after that catch, tough catch, pakad liya yaar, because when someone drops an easy catch, he totally goes on their face and tells them that. But if someone takes a blinder of his bowling, what does he do?
Oh god! But yeah, good Dravid memories indeed. Guys, look, we can just keep on going because for us, honestly, we have no other better things to do on a Friday. In terms of this is our job essentially. We were planning for an entire watch along, but that wasn't to be. But you guys can catch us on Sunday. Hopefully the weather stays clear. Anirudh unfortunately has told us at Bay Oval, Mount Maunganui, you will also have shit weather.
Bit of bad weather there.
Yeah, bit of bad
what
weather.
I saw was we have 9 thunderstorms predicted with 94% of.
Do you guys mind if the series is washed out, this T20?
I don't mind it.
Don't really care.
Because there is so much cricket, and I mean 4 or 5 T20 leagues are coming up in the span of next 3 months.
Yeah.
So I mean you need rest as a fan as well.
You have BBL starting,
BBL, FA20, ILT20, PSL, फिर उसके बाद उससे पहले auction होगा, IPL का,
and just for the record, we're not going to be doing watch-alongs for all
these things.
We'll just pick and choose. We'll probably do the opening game of the UAE League and the South African League just to see how it is.
To judge them.
Yeah, and just it'll be part of cricketing folklore and all of that going forward. And then 10 years later, we can check ourselves on YouTube and be like, remember the first ever game?
Would have been fun if we had done the first, we have done the watch along for the first IPL game. We both of us would have been crying though watching.
You know, that's my deepest regret so far. Knowing all you guys, knowing my time at cricket.com, why haven't we done an IPL watch along? But that will be 2023 for sure.
For sure.
That'll be so much fun. Like sometimes I've generally thought of keeping a secret camera because we all cover it in the match day room.
The banter level would
banter.
be
Anil do the stats, and then me with my RCB emotion, and then and so Somesh with his whole MI secret fan.
Can't wait to curse Rishabh Pant when he gets out playing a stupid shot. So
it's almost like how you see that coach corner where you have that mic on that coach in the coach corner in Kabaddi.
Yeah.
You will have, but obviously the language might be different.
No, the language is 100%. I mean, it's going to be uncensored, which makes it more fun, right? We don't want to be prim and proper. Obviously, you won't get personal. At times, I do. I mean, if you guys told me, I lose
they are
my
here
shit.
to see raw emotions.
Raw emotions.
I know, like whenever I think about the last IPL,
they like to see Virat Kohli.
Like you see Virat Kohli. The fact that it came down between Mumbai and Delhi, right? And then Mumbai had to win for RCB to play LSG. And it was so funny because I've never supported Mumbai in my life.
What was your reaction when Rishabh Pant did not take that
review?
I think I called you and you said Pant Ramkot, and I was like, wow, insane. I mean, guys, it's just tongue in cheek here. But all we can do is entertain y'all on a Friday. Unfortunately, there was no cricket. Final words, boys. What are we trying to attain from the series? Why can't they just make Hardik Pandya the captain and just call it? Otherwise, what's the point? I mean, is it the Prime Video marketing series?
See, why don't they make Hardik Pandya the captain? I think these are questions which only the backroom staff can answer. I mean,
see, the thing over here is like, he'll be the captain only when KL Rahul is not playing.
Yeah.
Because the official vice captaincy is not shifted from that player to the other player.
Yeah.
So if he's not playing, if their official captain and the vice captain are not playing, then you have options.
Correct.
So until and unless he is the vice captain, officially the vice captain of a team, you can't make him the captain.
Yeah.
That is how it runs.
No, I agree with
not
you.
Necessary, right? Because
it is not necessary. It is not necessary, but I am saying that is how it runs in India. Like for example, like what happened with like in India, like even if they just announce the vice captain, like have you seen any other team announcing vice captains?
Yeah.
That thing has gone. That thing has gone down now. Australia announced 2 vice captains and they take none of them seriously.
Even in test matches, even though there are players who are able to captain, I'm not saying Ajinkya Rahane is a bad captain, but I'm just telling he was officially appointed as a vice captain. So,
Yeah.
like when Kohli is not there or Rohit is not there, it's obvious that he's going to be there. And then vice captaincy shifted towards Bumrah. So now
And then
Bumrah is their
captaincy-
captain.
Yeah, and now captaincy shifted.
So
to Bumrah.
because KL Rahul was not there,
They're complicated.
Yeah.
It's so much like
so
solving
the
No,
a
it's
KL Rahul wasn't
ridiculous,
there for
man.
the
It's
England test. That is
absolutely
why Bumrah
ridiculous.
became the captain. So that like who dons that vice captaincy hat, he'll be the next captain.
I mean, essentially, even like what they've done with Dhawan and all the second string India teams is baffling. It's absolutely baffling. Guys, look, we can go on. Appreciate your time in the comments and, of course, watching this with us. Apologies, we can't really do anything about the weather. It's an uncontrollable, like Dhoni says. Thank you so much for your time. Anirudh, Stats Pancast is good. And, of course, Shubh Agarwal, good to see you as ever. Big shout out to Somesh and the haircut version of Anirudh. People in the comments still can't believe it.
I couldn't believe it.
We couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. But it's way better. It's aesthetic. It's at least more
It will
appealing
take time for me to
get used to
digest it.
things. Absolutely. On that note, it's a goodbye from all of us here at cricket.com. Some fascinating content is ever lined up in the weekend. And of course, you guys can join us on Sunday. If there's no game, it'll be part 2 of this rant, which will carry on. Thanks for watching. It's a goodbye from us. We'll leave it there.